Welcome to Wildcard Wednesday. This time I'm going to be playing a, well, it's not like I haven't done this before, but not this particular game. This is an Atari 2600 prototype of a game that never saw a release called Elk Attack. This was made in 1987, and it's kind of like, I want to say it's almost kind of like a Pac-Man type of game. Like I'm the red ball and I move around and collect these blocks. And when I get the blocks that have the little square in them, I am invincible. So it's like I said, it's Pac-Man-ish. There's a shit ton of these fucking pellets, I guess, the power pellets. And then yeah, the other thing about the game, I guess the one thing that makes it unique, I guess, is this line that forms when you move towards a block that doesn't have any other blocks in between. It's unlike Pac-Man in the fact that it's not a maze. It's just a whole bunch. It's a big grid. And like these, I don't know what the hell everything is supposed to be. Doesn't seem to be anything elk related going on. But this is the Atari, so there's a lot left to the imagination. And maybe I'm supposed to be an elk. And these monsters that look kind of like, they either look like film reels or they are those little tiny creatures in Adventures of Tom Sawyer with the eyes in the haunted house level in Atari 2600 form. This is a prototype, so, of course there was tweaking to be made, and it never happened, or it never got to the point where it was, like, finished product level, because even though it's playable, it's quite playable, there's really nothing to this, difficulty-wise. I just keep grabbing pellets, the power pellets, for lack of a better term, and I have more than enough time to, well, that time I died because I wasn't paying attention, but, if I was, I would have, easily avoided that. You have plenty of time to eat up the other blocks and still grab a pellet or two to extend your invincibility, and there's not much else to it, although, this level does have less of the pellets. But these enemies just wander around aimlessly. They're not triggered by any of my movements or anything. And, I mean, maybe it's just simply the fact that I'm at an early stage and everything, but I think that it was because, again, this is not a finished game. It's not fully developed. I mean, like, there should be something happening here. Like, I should be clearing out some of these enemies when I cross them, but they just kind of stop. They pause momentarily. Although wiping them off the screen would make it even easier than it already is. So, it's an unfinished prototype, that's for sure. It's not like it was one of those just plain, like, unreleased games that, like, I think there was more to be done with this. I am intrigued by the name, though. Elk Attack makes me wonder what the backstory of the game is. If these are supposed to be elks. If I'm an elk. What the hell's going on here, elk-wise? And attack, I get. There's certainly attack happening. There are attacks happening throughout the duration of what's happening here. See, like, the one thing that can happen, though, with the whole, like, getting sucked in, like, the whole line pulling you into the next block is, if you don't time it right, you could crash into one of these, I don't know, these film reels, I guess. Like, right there, I almost did it. Like, I couldn't stop myself right there because there it was. And now we're in a spot where there are less of these pellets. And there we go, another level is cleared. this felt like it could have been something like not an all-time great by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, with some tweaks here and there, it could have been a decent game. But yeah, you can. It looks and it feels very much like there was more to be done. At least here at this point, the invincibility has worn off. Well, it wears off quicker. You know, so I think that it either would have been there'd be multiple variations, or you know, the difficulty would have been a little less gradual, perhaps. I don't know. But I'm gonna finish up with this particular stage and then call it a day. I think that's more or less enough of Elk Attack. So this is a game that a prototype that exists. If you ever feel the need to try it out, it's out there for you. So that's it for this week's weird wildcard game. I'll see you next time.